Well, since I was just cut off there, I don't know if you guys heard what I was saying, since apparently when you record on YouTube, it only goes up to 35 minutes. I cannot wait till this is off and we can go back to live streaming. But I have the Falcons taking Billy Price. You plug him there at right guard. I think it's seamless. Kid from Ohio State, very versatile hog. You can go anywhere on the line. You can play him at center, either guard spot. You plug him right there. He's a plug-and-play player for 10 years, easily. Ohio State runs a pro-style offense over there. And you've got Matthews, Mack. You can protect, your franchise quarterback in Matty Ice. Give him time to be able to throw it to Julio Jones or let them two beast backs run behind this line. Billy Price to the Falcons. Now we got the Saints. Drew Brees still playing at the top of his game. Amazing. 40 years of age. Can still sling it up and down. If it wasn't for that one boneheaded play by the rookie, they would have been playing the Eagles in the championship game. Well, it didn't happen that way, and they swatted the Minnesota Vikings. We know how that story played out. But what do they do here? Do they go after a tight end? They got Michael Thomas. They got them two beast running backs in Mark Ingram and Alvin Kamara. They had a great draft last year of putting guys in there. So what do? Do you build up on that defense, or do you give even more toys to help out Drew Brees? You remember how successful he was when he had Jimmy Smith there. There's a couple great tight ends. You got Mike Gesicki still out there, Hayden Hurst. Do you take either one of those guys? I don't think so. I think you build up that defense even more to help out these young kids. They had the defensive rookie of the year last year from Ohio State. The kid out of Ohio State. I cannot think of his name. God's pissing me off. But I think you pair another guy with Josh Jackson out of Ohio. You have two shutdown corners to help out that defense, because that offense is going to be fine. They're going to be chugging up and down. You can really plug anybody in there. As long as you have Drew Brees to deliver the ball to you, you're going to be fine. Plus, they've really changed their way of offense. They're not really a sling it, throw it 40 times a game anymore, because they really lean on them two running backs. They've built up on that line. They've gotten really young on that line the past couple years. They've got those two backs now, Michael Thomas. So they've got a really balanced attack. I think they go after Josh Jackson, ball hawking corner, 6'1", great ball skills. He had 8 picks in the FBS this year. Can track the ball well. You pair him up with the defensive rookie of the year last year, I think it's a match made in heaven. Now we got the Pittsburgh Steelers. Ben's getting old. When are they going to find his replacement? They got Josh Dobbs there. I don't think they reach for a Mason Rudolph at this point. And then that tragedy it's a shame with Ryan Shazier. But do you take a linebacker? They've taken a linebacker the past 3 seasons. But you don't know when he's going to be back. Can you rely on him to ever play again? You could go, Leighton Vander Esch here. But I think you go out and get a corner, because that secondary struggled mightily last year. And why not get, I'm going to butcher his name, I think it's Yair Alexander, the corner out of Louisville. Really solid corner. He's 5'10". He's not one of them big body corners like Josh Jackson. But you go get him. He might be small, but he plays big. Great hip movement, great movement. He's a cover corner. He will mirror anybody. He's got great hands. He's a burner. He runs a 4.3. Again, I like corners, and you got corners that can run real fast, especially when they get the ball in their hands. He's got pretty good hands for a corner. And you match him up with Artie Burns, another guy that runs like 4.4. I think it's good, because it's been a while for Pittsburgh having those corners. You remember when they had Ike Taylor and the Palomalus, and it just always used to be the steel curtain. It used to be defense, defense, defense. Well, they flipped the script. They're more of an offensive team now. I think it's time to get back to the old ways of Pittsburgh, building up that defense. Because you imagine you pair one of those golden years of the Steelers with their defense, with the Palomalu years, with the Larry Foots and the Brett Kiesels, or even before that with the Mel Blunts and all. Way before my time. Jack Ham. They need to get back to that type of football. That's why I think they go after Alexander here. Now we go to number 29. My team, the Jacksonville Jaguars, fall up a couple minutes short of going to their first Super Bowl ever. And why is that? Because They got outcoached for one, and Blake Bortles had nobody to throw to. We lose Mercedes Lewis, longest tenured Jag on a team. They give him the boot. He's done. He was more of a blocking tight end at this point in his career. You got no weapons. You lose Allen Hurns. Allen Robinson goes to Chicago in free agency. They could go Cortland Sutton here, or I think you go with Mike Gesicki at the tight end out of Penn State. This guy's a beast. A lot of these tight ends are like the Jimmy Graham types. The guys, but I think Gesicki can block and be split out like a wide receiver, run your posts, slants, find the holes in the zones. And what is an inaccurate quarterback best friend? A tight end, a safety valve. They haven't had a tight end like that in a long time. Kind of like what Mercedes was earlier in his career. We got to get back to that and then get a wide receiver in the second round. But either or makes sense here. So Jags go with Gesicki with the 29th overall pick. Minnesota Vikings. Big splash in free agency. Go get Kirk Cousins. What are they going to do? You got to protect Kirk Cousins. I think you take Connor Williams. I think it's a safe pick here. The 30th overall pick. They had Riley Reef. Paid a lot of money to him in free agency this past year. They were one of the most consistent early on, and then they just fell apart. They lost Dalvin Cook, and you want to protect the big money man back there, because they gave him all guaranteed money in Kirk Cousins. You want to give him some time to be able to find your weapons. Stephon Diggs, Cook when he breaks out into the flat. So I think Connor Williams, if you get him 2016 Connor Williams, who was going to be a top 5 pick before he blew his knee out, I think it's a safe pick here. He can learn because they still got Mike Reimers, but he's not the greatest tackle. They paid a lot of money on that line. Eflin, the center they got last year, also in the draft, was a steal, I think. So you build around him. You go get Connor Williams. If he doesn't, he's not going to break out and start because you got Reimers and Reef. But you can sit him, let that knee rest up, and he could be your left tackle of the future. Now we got the Patriots back on the clock. What did they do? They took Landry with that top pick. Do they go Mason Rudolph? Find Tom Brady's replacement? I don't think so. I'm going to go with Van Der Esch here. You're going to build up on that linebacking core. Been a while since they've had good linebackers. You remember Gerard Mayo, those Brandon Spikes. You need another guy that's going to be like that. I figure Leighton Van Der Esch right here would be solid. And I know Adrian wanted him real bad, but he just seems like a perfect fit for the Patriots. So Van Der Esch here to the Patriots. Now, the number 32, the Super Bowl champions, Philadelphia Eagles. Where do they go, guys? Not many holes on this team. Could they go tackle reach here? Colton Miller? Maybe. I don't think they should. What I think they should do is, this is a dream come true, because I've loved Nick Chubb ever since I've seen him play a few years ago. When he had that horrific injury, like my heart dropped. I felt for the guy because I thought he was going to have a storied career if he didn't blow his knee out. He was able to come back from that, and what a pair him and Sony Michel were this year. But Nick Chubb and the Eagles, imagine him in that Kelly Green. Hopefully that Kelly Green comes back this year, but he's a power back. He's low center of gravity. I think this would be awesome to get. You can let Jay Ajayi walk. You get Nick Chubb in here. He's going to take over. He's your cowbell. He's not the fastest guy, but he can bull through people. He reminds me of the pinball, Maurice Jones-Drew. A little bit bigger, but almost 230. The guy can run inside a tackle. He's just going to power football. And that's what the Eagles are running when they had Blunt. Well, here's your young replacement. Nick Chubb to the Philadelphia Eagles. I could see the Eagles really trading back at this point, too. Just to get a second or third round pick, to move down, just to accumulate more draft capital. But since there's no drafts in my mock, I'm going to say Eagles take Nick Chubb. I think it's a smart thing to do. You don't want to pay Jay Ajayi. I think Nick Chubb's going to be better than Jay Ajayi anyway. And that's it. There's my 2018 mock draft. Cannot wait for tomorrow, guys. Did a little something different. I got to talk football. Appreciate you having my time. Leave your comments, what you all think. And, who do you think your team's going to take? Are you happy with it? I don't know. I cannot wait for tomorrow, though. It's Christmas. It is Christmas in April. All right, guys. KG on BB. I'm out. Peace.